this golf course. Mm-hmm. Now, the interesting thing is this, is that, you know, the council that's in there right now, almost every single one of them ran on doing something about figuring out something about that golf course. Now we are a whole election later, and it's still in the same spot. Now, the only interesting thing about the golf course is that in reality, it's not a huge amount of money. You know, so I think people are leaning on it as if somehow, you know, that amount was going to turn things around. But in reality, it'll pave you another street, or it'll, you know,
I believe that what we should do is, I understand that we always fight against the golf course. At the very beginning of it, I wanted it, but then as I got towards the end of my career, I was fussing about the golf course as much as everybody else was, arguing about it. But a simple plan to start with, you know what? One of the most easiest things we could do, which is save about half of that money, is to take that restaurant and turn it over to someone within our community that wants a big restaurant, give them a $1 lease, make them pay the utilities, make them pay for everything that belongs to their insurance and utilities like they would in any other building. And if they would take that restaurant and lease it out to someone every year, or lease it out to someone, we could cut half of it right there, just about half of it right there.
So I remember you actually proposed that the last time you ran.
Yes, I did. I still believe that.
Right. So you know, that's an idea. But here's the funny thing about this is that these ideas have been pitched out there, but nothing's been done. That's the, you know, now the course has run and it's been maintained, and they've faced a few issues that they've you know, overcome. Issues with water and with seating and with the restaurant itself. You know, so the process has continued, but there's been no resolution. So, you know, no one's cut it down to 9 holes. No one's, you know, basically it's just continued. So, so your idea, while it's a novel idea, no implementation. So do you is
I going to continue to try to fight for it, and I'm going to tell you why. We understand that people want to trade off here. We do. But the most important thing, and I'm going to put it out on the table right now. Whoever gets in office right now, whether it be the recall, the one that's running against recall, or the ones that are there, they need to start thinking individually on their own, and they need to start doing their homework. That's the only thing I ever asked them to do, is do your homework, think individually. If they do that, then they'll start opening their minds and start seeing what's really happening. And then, you know, half the time, there's no discussions. We need more discussions like we had in the past. You know, there's times we would stay there until 10 o'clock at night for discussions. Yes, it was long meetings, but at least something got done and everything came out about it. And that's what we need to do. We need to make sure these people start thinking on their own. And if people would, if each one of these council members saying that, that's your business, or are you going to continue to lose that money, or are you going to try to figure out how to fix it?
That's another question that I have about the money. You know, we're basically another election cycle over, and we can take this freeze frame and go back, and the promises that candidates are making are the same. They're, you know, of course we all want jobs. Of course we all want our streets paved. Of course we want the golf course to make money. You know, of course nobody wants a polluting industry or anything like that. So the question is, how are these things going to be implemented when there seems to be, where's the blockage? Why is it that we can't get some of these things changed? Now, here's the deal too. The city's not broke.
It's in trouble right now.
Well, wait a minute. Well, you know what?
$27 million in trouble right now. It's down right now.
It is down, but that's just year to date. I think you're going to find that by the end of the fiscal year, which is coming right up.
We got 2 months.
Yeah,
we got 2 months left. Technically, with 3 months, because this is June, and then May, and then June is the start of a new fiscal year. So by the time July, at the end of June, July, by the time we were in August, you wouldn't know how we finished.